So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about techniques and tools used by South Carolina oyster farmers. And it's not, I wish it was all kinds of cool, tools like a trip to Lowe's or something, but the tool that I have to present to you is more of a record-keeping thing, but hopefully you'll see some utility in it. So to understand our techniques that we use in South Carolina to grow oysters, you have to understand a little bit about our environment. Our environment is very tidal. We have 8-foot tides in South Carolina. A lot of our oyster farming, actually most of our oyster farming, with the exception of one grower, is done in these tidal creeks. This picture here is at high tide. And as you can imagine, with 8-foot tides, there's a lot of current as well. So, and our bottoms are very soft. We call it fluff mud. So for the most part, you're looking for areas with a firmer bottom. Most of our culture is done using bottom cages with little legs that sit off the bottom. We do have growers now realizing that isn't the most effective way to do it, as far as it's not the most viable way to make the most profit in using that gear type. So folks are starting to switch over to floating cages, mostly the oyster grow system. So we do the whole process.
Which watershed are they set up in? Which watershed do they? Are they like down at Edisto or Kiowa or which one is group?
So we have 14 growers, and they're all up and down the state. So we have, if I go back here, these two pictures. The top one is up in the McClellanville area of Charleston County. So we have sort of a little cluster of shellfish farming activity up there. And then most of the other activity is down in Beaufort County, which is that bottom picture. But we do have some farms that have just started this year that are using their first crop, growing their first crop this year, that are in the Charleston area, around Folly Beach and Reach Inlet area. So all up and down. And I did say that there is one grower who's an exception to the being in a tidal creek environment, and that is that gentleman grows his oysters in an old rice pond. So it's an impoundment, that's the word I'm looking for, an impoundment, so that it is salt water that comes into there, and there's a floodgate, and you can control the level of the water and whatnot, but in that situation, he does have to relay out to approved waters prior to harvest. But it works well for him, and the oysters grow great in there, and it's private property, so it puts him in a different permitting realm. So other people have talked a bit about our hatchery efforts and nursery efforts in South Carolina. This is just meant to demonstrate that we do the whole process in South Carolina of the growing. The growers are typically getting their seed at 5 millimeters. So they are handling a fairly small seed. That would be, I think it was Skip that said it, about the bag size. So it would be getting a 5 millimeter seed and probably putting that in about a 2 millimeter bag. And this picture is actually, it's a picture from the Auburn Shellfish Lab, but the same sort of tanks. It's land-based nursery production. There's one facility, Frank's facility at Ladies Island Oyster, that is the main seed supplier for the state, the only seed supplier this year. And it's train of thought.
Really hard work.
Yeah, that too. But it's all flow through right from the creek, growing the seed up in the nursery. That's not the size that folks get them at there in that picture. That's just meant to show you the next size they would be at after being out for a while. I think those were out for about 2 weeks before going up from 5 millimeters. these are the bottom cages that are used. They have little legs on the bottom. A lot of you are probably familiar with the bottom cage. 4x4 plastic coated wire mesh, 3 layers. 2 bags fit on each layer. The layers open up, they're hinged, so the cage opens up like pages of a book. And then a bridle, once it's closed, there's a bridle that comes up over the top of it to hold it together, and then a surface float from there. And you can see the Vexar bags just fit nicely in there, and of course there's like sort of a picture frame edge on each layer to hold that bag in place so it doesn't fall out of the top of the cage. And then those, you can see them lined up there in the water. The boats that we use to handle those, most of the boats in South Carolina for a lot of the operators, small boats, as you're all probably familiar with, 18 to 24 foot skiffs, and outfitted with a davit for lifting the cages. And then you see in the background there the other kind of cages we use. These are Oyster Grove cages. This is out of Frank's operation. And the way we deploy them, if you're familiar with, we do it a little differently from what I was used to doing in Alabama. I did my master's work with Bill at the Shellfish Lab, and so when I moved to South Carolina, we did a little demonstration. I, of course, started with what I knew from Alabama and quickly learned that rigging the cages that way doesn't work in South Carolina, and then you've got a current ripping back and forth and they get all tangled up. And so the way we do it up there to account for that current is it's just 5 cages in a string, and we connect them together like elephants on parade. One cage to the next instead of a main line with lateral lines coming up. Screw anchors, again, you're trying to find a site that isn't a super soft bottom because you want good anchoring. And you're able to, depending on your site, you might be able to go out and set those anchors on like a really, nice minus tide, but you can go out and set those, or you can kind of use divers too. And then flipping regime wise, right now we're really looking forward to the SRAC study, which will allow us to fine tune that flipping regime. Right now it's roughly every 10 to 14 days during the heaviest fouling time of the year. This time of year with nothing in the water, you don't really need to flip. That's what we found. There's really nothing fouling things up right now, so just leave them. And in the summertime, we do adhere to the, flipping them up at the end of the day, last thing in the day, and then back down by 10 o'clock the next morning, so you're not cooking your oysters. And we handle the floating cages, just you can see the picture there of Frank loading some bags into a cage. The boats have a davit, so we use them, save your back, right? So clip onto the cage at points where they're reinforced, where the wire's been reinforced, and lift them up. And some of the guys have little rigs that they've made up with a pipe and a rope that they put down underneath of the cage, and then can put it up on the davit to flip the cage over. And so for us, for floating gear, the important thing coming up as more people get into this and begin to scale up is going to be those tools to help with that flipping routine and making that quicker, because we're in deeper water with a lot of our creeks, so we don't have when I was at Auburn, we had the luxury of being able to just jump in the water and walk along and flip them over like that, and that's not an option here.